We've got a three-game NHL slate tonight and a three-man panel here to break it down. DraftKings contributor Geoff Ulrich and Rotowire's Scholz and Paul Bruno. Let's hit it, fellas. Jeff, who are you paying up for on the DFS slate this evening?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple big names. Obviously, we only have a three-game slate, but I like Mika Zibanejad of the New York Rangers there at 7,600. Taking on a Florida Panthers team who's really banged up front. You got Barkov, questionable. You've got Spencer Knight most likely starting in net tonight. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's confirmed because Bobrovsky is injured as well. But then you've also got this Rangers team who's coming home after a two-game Alberta road trip, which was absolutely horrendous. They allowed 12 goals, got shut out by the Flames of all people in their last game. This Rangers team should be flying here tonight after that kind of embarrassment. I expect Kopitar against the weekend Flyers team to really pay off here. And I like the Rangers in all aspects here to bounce back.
All right, AJ, who are you paying up for? A couple guys in the 8,000s, one guy who's going to cost you over 9K.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going. I think it's just such a no-brainer and a small slate to pay up for Ovechkin here. Look, he leads the leagues in shots. He leads the league in goals. He's facing a Buffalo squad that is on a 4-game losing streak. Yeah, he's freaking expensive at 92. More than anybody else, more than the goalies. But in a short slate, you got to do it because if he goes off like he normally does, you're going to be missing out here big time.
Paul, what do you think? You want to pay all the way up for Ovechkin or maybe pay down a little bit for Austin Matthews?
I'm just a little reluctant on Ovechkin. I see Mitch Marner making a lot more sense. Marner's got 11 points in his last 4 games, and to me, he's looking just like he did when he finished 4th last year in league scoring. I just think Ovi is a little too pricey, and they limit your options. I would rather take his center, to be honest with you. Backstrom would cost a little bit less, quite a bit less, and he's going to get the same favorable matchup. So I think save your money and take his line mates, what I say.
All right, let's talk about saving money. We're looking for value on tonight's very small slate. AJ, you're paying all the way up for Ovechkin, so where are you looking for value?
Yeah, I'm going to look to the Kings' Arthur Kaliev. He's coming in at just 3,500 here, playing on the Kings' top line with Anze Kopitar. He's got 3 goals in his last 4 games, 2 of which were scored with the man advantage. I think he works okay as a standalone option if you want to go that route. But I also like stacking him with Kopitar as well to double down on the Kings tonight.
All right, where are you looking for value, Paul?
You know what? I like Anthony Duclair for $4,400, Jesse, against the New York Rangers. Duclair on the season has emerged as a top goal scorer and the number 1 right wing on a Florida club that's atop the Atlantic Division, and that's saying something. They're also missing a couple of their players, I know that, but they were missing them last game against Carolina, who's the toughest out in the league for my money. The Rangers return home from a tough Western Canada road swing, and typically that first game home is always a tough one for many teams that come back from that road swing. I'm also considering a Florida stack tonight, so I'm going to add Gustav Forsling as one of my defensemen for only $4,400. He's a guy who has 8 points, 23 shots on goal, and 13 blocked shots.
All right, Jeff, what about you? We need some value.
Yeah, there's some really, really cheap value I think you can get at the Washington Capitals tonight. Connor Sheary and Daniel Sprong, both under 3K. And again, taking on the Sabres here. But both these players are playing well over 16 minutes a night over the last couple games. The Capitals are just banged up. Mantha out, Backstrom out, TJ Oshie out. These guys are playing top 6 minutes. Sheary getting power play 1 exposure if you want to like stack him with maybe a Carlson or just with Ovechkin. But Sprong has actually been the slightly more productive of the two. We've seen him in spurts last year too. This guy he does like to get the puck on net a few times a game, which is really good for a player's min-price. He's already got a couple goals on the season. So I would probably lean Daniel Sprong there at 2,500, but both him and Sheary, if you're looking for a min-price punt play, especially if you're using Ovechkin, I would seriously look at those two because they got a great matchup against the Sabres.
All right, Paul, which goalie matchup are you leaning towards right now? I know it's early.
No, the high win probability is whichever Washington goalie starts against Buffalo tonight. Both Vanacek and Samsonov are priced at the top of the DraftKings board tonight for $8,100, so be sure to get the right information from Rotowire's website for that info later today. If you want to look a little further down the board, I see the value play of the night as Panthers' Spencer Knight, who's likely started with his partner Bobrovsky nursing a minor injury, as Jeff indicated. The Florida rookie will cost you $7,600 for the lowest price among goalies with the best chance to win this evening.
All right, Jeff, what do you think? Which goalie matchup are you leaning towards?
I'm definitely looking at Igor Shesterkin to bounce back here. Again, I really like this matchup. I mean, you've got the Panthers coming in. they're just banged up too. And I mean, the Rangers, I just cannot. I mean, Shesterkin got embarrassed in his last start, but this is a player who's been extremely high quality, especially for daily fantasy. If you play NHL DFS, you know this guy is capable of a 35 save performance pretty much every night. And look, the Rangers allow shots on goal, but that's good because we want that. We want to try and get a shots on goal bonus, obviously. So all things considered, him playing at home here, you know, it's basically a pick 'em. The other two games, we've got some solid favorites. So I don't even think Shesterkin on this 3-game slate is going to be super highly owned. Maybe people potentially just overlooking that Florida injury news, but I like going back to him here. Again, really like the Rangers in the spot.
AJ, which goalie do you like?
I'm with Paul on this one. I like Spencer Knight here. 7,600. It's hard to pass on him. You know, if you have the salary, as Paul said, consider going with Vanacek tonight. It looks like he's going to get the nod here for the Caps, but you can save that extra $500, especially again if you're going high up there, and get Knight in, who has been perfectly capable every time he's been called in to fill in for Sergei Bobrovsky.
All right, let's go sportsbook now. What's your favorite bet for tonight, Geoff?
So, I mean, obviously I like the Rangers on the money line. You can probably guess that. They're minus 105. So that would kind of be my favorite money line bet of the night on the DraftKings Sportsbook. But there's a player prop I think that is definitely like a good one to target here. We got Michael Bunting at plus 180. This is a player who's averaged 0.5 points per game so far this year on the Leafs, playing in a top 6 role. That's never a bad thing. And you've got the LA Kings coming to town, who really banged up, basically down their top 2 defensemen. This is a great target for a guy like Bunting to just pick up a garbage assist. Again, it's just over 1 point and it's plus 180, but these odds are suggesting that Bunting, even just looking at his historical small sample we have with the Leafs, I mean, we're getting really good odds here. So that really stood out to me in the player props, and that's definitely one of my favorite targets there. Bunting, just to get you a point tonight.
AJ, which bet stood out to you?
Well, honestly, this is not just a shot at Paul, but I really like the Kings at plus 220 tonight to get past the Maple Leafs. They're on a 4-game winning streak. Geoff mentioned the blue line injuries, but they're getting good production out of their forwards. Looks like we'll probably have Jonathan Quick in nets tonight. He's been really strong to start the year, has really kind of taken back the #1 job over Cal Peterson. Yeah, in their 4-game winning streak, they haven't faced a team as stacked as the Leafs, but at plus 220, I mean, that's just too good a value to pass up on a really good opportunity for the Kings to come in and steal one against Toronto.
Paul could not control his laughter. Paul, what's your favorite bet for tonight?
I was wondering when he was going to start disagreeing with me on this episode, and there it
Yeah.
came. Look, the home matchup for Ovechkin against the Reeling Sabres is so good for him that he's one of only 2 skaters who's lower than even money to score a goal tonight at minus 110. I view that as a free spot on the bingo card, the surest bet that I see tonight. Even with the Capitals missing 3 of their top 6 forwards and losing their last 3 games, they will slice through the Sabres tonight. And I see the game hitting the alternate total goals prop of over 6.5 for a 125 payoff there as well.